L. We're on D.
And I'm L.
A very seedy L we have here today.
I'm alright.
You're alright?
My throat's a bit out of here, but...
Pause.
Huh?
Pause.
Pause.
Yeah. You know pause? Have you never heard of pause? Like when someone says
What
something...
you're saying to like say what...
No, pause is like when you say something sus.
Never heard of it.
Oh. So when someone says something's a bit sus, like you got a bit of a sore throat, pause.
Never heard of it.
You gotta what, like even like celebrities do it in their interviews, or like athletes do it in their interviews, it's a bit weird.
Pause.
Pause, yeah.
P-A-U-S-E.
Yeah, like
They-
pause, yeah.
Nah, never heard of that. So that's why I was confused.
Perfect.
But yeah, how are you going?
Yeah, I'm alright, bit tired.
How's the run?
How's the run?
Tell everyone about the run. We want to hear about it.
Massive, absolute massive 5 kilometers. Which if you're a normal sort of running, like that's light work. When you're unfit like me, it was a fair effort. I lost 7 kilos to the lead up to it, so.
So this is the furthest you've done some of your own 5Ks.
Yeah, I have run 5Ks before, so it wasn't about reaching the distance. It was more so trying to, I guess, improve on where I have been. So I beat my PB by 3.5 minutes.
Very good.
So it was good.
Yeah.
It felt good. I got in the groove. I was a little bit behind the marker, and I sort of caught up to him. And I was like, oh, I'm a couple minutes ahead if I'm following this marker. And I was like, I can keep going. So I pushed myself up a bit. It was good.
Yeah.
Very satisfying. Very rewarding.
Yeah. I remember I was going to do that.
Yeah. But then
it wouldn't have worked out.
No.
I would not. I probably wouldn't have even done 5. But I would have. There was a 10K. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have done a 10, but. Yeah, not this time, but we both signed up for the Nike one.
The half Malmara, so if you're there next year, see you there.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. I mean, obviously you're coming from a lot way further back, I guess.
Yeah,
running than me, but it'll be tough for me as well.
Yeah.
I did 12 and a bit last week and felt really good. But yeah, I have never done above 15, I don't think.
Yeah.
So, but I'd like to do, over the next few weeks, put some longer runs in, but kind of go casual.
Yeah, 100%.
Not casual, but slower pace. Don't worry about my times or anything, and just do the distance. Maybe get to 15, and if I'm feeling all right, maybe I can push on and just do my own unofficial half marathon.
That's what I'm looking at too now.
But then looking towards the one we're going to do next year, then I can try and really do a good time, I guess.
Yeah.
I've got no goal in mind with that, but probably aim for like 5-minute kilometers or just over 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's still a while off. So.
100%. Still plenty of time to get that work in. That's what I found today too. Obviously, it was my first sort of event I've ever run. It was so much easier to push on with all the people like around you running as well. It kind of made it easier to get through it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that, as you sort of alluded to as well with your plans. Mine now is probably to kick on from here, not focus on so much time for a little bit, and just keep working on extending that distance, and then getting the time involved later on as we're hitting good distances regularly.
Yeah. When you are running with other people, like, have you run at the 10 before?
Yes. Yeah.
So I've only done it like a couple of times, but normally around this area, you're running by yourself, you've got no one around, which is nice. But yeah, the couple of times I've run there and there's a million people, it actually, you see, all different people doing all different types of walking, running, everything, and it kind of does spur you to run a bit harder. And, people are kind of watching, or
well, that's I didn't expect to be able to hit what I did hit, so it just I kept going and I kept building on it from there, and just kept. And I was like, I can do this, and I just sort of was pumping myself up during it. So no, it was really good. I'm really looking forward to that Malmara next year now. Also half mara, because and for me that's not going to be so much about time. I just want to get through the half mara.
Yeah.
And I think being able to say that you've done a half marathon's a pretty big deal. Yeah. I'd like to think it is anyway.
No, it is. It's a big achievement. Doing any kind of official event is a big achievement, just because it is. You are putting the pressure on yourself, putting yourself out there. People are watching, and you want to do yourself well. So it'll be good.
No, I'm pretty chuffed. So
yeah.
What about you? Obviously, you couldn't run today because you had a nice big event yesterday.
Yeah. Spilt milk. If anyone was there, there was a lot of people there. It was a good day. Seen a lot of good music. A lot of good people. So good day. A lot of drinks.
So obviously it was posty. It was sort of the main. How was that?
Yeah, no, he was good. Bit annoying. He stopped a couple times. I don't know. I think people passed out of saying right near the front.
Oh Jesus!
You know, everyone puts their torches up on their phones, and obviously there's been a lot of issues like with concerts and that festivals where things are happening and the artist keeps going and they cop all the crap on social media for it. So he was in kind of a lose-lose situation, but it was a bit annoying because it was like 3 times consecutively he stopped during a song and then he'd go back to like the start of the song, and then it kind of wasted the time that he was out there. And he said at the end, he's like, I wish I had he had a few more songs planned, but obviously, well, he could have just done them, I thought, stayed out for an extra 10 minutes, but other than that, he was really good. Obviously just played most of his OG mainstream songs, which I was hoping for a couple more off the new album, but no, he was really good.
Did he miss any sort of major songs?
Nah, not that I can think of. He just did all the ones you kind of would expect. I Fall Apart, Sunflower. Can't even think of.
White Iverson.
White Iverson, he did, yeah. If you say the names of the songs right now,
Rockstar,
Rockstar, all the songs everyone knows Posty for. So, but
I guess that's a festival thing.
I think he did 2 off the new album, but they were like Chemical, which is probably the most mainstream of it. He might have done another one, Morning maybe, I can't remember, but no, he was really good. So I was glad I went and seen Post. Big decisions for a lot of people, the Post or Dom Dollar at the same time, but I was happy I went to Post. Yeah,
fair. Did you have any artists you discovered or anything you discovered while you were there?
I enjoyed Ocean Alley. I've listened to like a little bit of their music, but have never really. All the acts aren't really necessarily the music I listen to like on a daily basis, but they are like songs will come on and be like, oh, I know this song or I like this song. But they were really good live, and Dermot Kennedy I enjoyed live as well. I've kind of only discovered him over the past couple of weeks listening to Spilt Milk playlists, and I was like, God, he's actually really good. I knew like his songs, some of them, just from hearing them, but would never have known who he was or anything. But he was really good live. We got pretty close, not like close, but like close-ish for his set. And good. He just brought really good energy and enjoyed his set. So
perfect.
Yeah.
What about shoes? What shoe choice did you go for? Surely not whites.
Whites. White Nikes.
What are they looking like these days?
They're not too bad actually. It wasn't as there were parts around when you had to walk around and stuff that were quite muddy. But in general, it wasn't that bad. Like I was expecting so much worse. I was expecting to come home like mud everywhere, and it wasn't that bad really, considering all the rain through the week. And then when we got to Ballarat, it was like you couldn't see anything. It was just like misty, foggy type. But the day actually got cleared up. I guess not cleared up, but. By 3-4 o'clock, the sun actually had come out for a bit and it got a bit hot. But it was never like cold.
Oh, that's good.
It was just like okay. Once the misty rain went away, and it was a lot of people who went last year said it was like 40 degrees last year. So they're like, this is so much better.
Yeah, you can actually survive.
At a festival, you don't want to be like boiling hot.
Nah.
At least if it's a bit cold, you're gonna probably warm up.
Once you get a couple in your
in the
dancing
tent, in the tent, I think it was the Basquiat stage. The tent, it was like great in there because
all fans.
No, you just didn't have the cold. You were kind of undercover and everything, so it was just out in the main stage. It got a bit cold there for a bit, but that's all right.
Sweet, perfect. Speaking of music artists and everything like that, big week this week for the general population. Spotify Wraps
Oh yeah.
being dropped.
We should have. My phone's somewhere.
He wasn't prepared for
I wasn't prepared to. We should have given a recap of our raps.
We should have. We still can. We still
Do you have
can.
your phone?
No, I don't know my rap. It's
Oh, it's
fine.
over there. Hold on. 2 seconds.
Let's take a little intermission. The podcast is sponsored by Pies Nation. Big 2024 loading, so make sure, if you haven't already, you're onto the podcast.
I got to find my screenshots.
Perfect. So I can tell you off the bat.
Tell us your one first, and then we'll go to mine.
Well, I can tell you that in the battle of minutes listened to, I beat you by about 4,000 minutes.
I was so disappointed with my minutes because, although I guess with work before this current year, I was able to listen to music at work and have my music playing. So I think the previous years I would be around the 80,000 minutes. And this year was only 49,000, which I feel like I listened to a lot of music, and that felt like low.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. Some people have like so much more. I'm like, are they listening to music like all day? Because I feel like I listen to outside of work. I feel like gym, driving to work, at home, doing stuff. I've got music. I just don't know how I could get more minutes.
Mate, the people that played in their sleep, so like,
you
gotta watch out for them.
So yours was 53,000.
Yeah, 50, just a smidge under 53.
Yeah.
So just cleared you for the year, and that's all that matters to me.
Well, I'll do better next year.
Do we do our artists and stuff in reverse order? Is that?
Yeah, if you want to. Do you remember yours?
Yeah, yep.
Do you want to go with yours?
Oh, so my number 5 was actually Future. So.
Is that surprising or expected?
Yeah, I would say it was a little bit surprising. I do listen to him a fair bit, but I didn't think it'd be top 5. We'll go one at a time. So now you go your 5th.
Nas. So he had 2 albums come out this year. So I probably jumped into a lot of his older music still as well. So I was expecting him to be around the mark. So it was good for him to get into my top 5. I was happy to see his name there. So yeah. Who's your number 4?
My number 4 was actually Brent Fires.
Oh yeah.
That bit more lo-fi, chill. I think I did a lot more listening of Brent in the second half of the year. He recently dropped an album as well. If you haven't listened to it, very good, very good. So I wouldn't say. Also, probably same as sort of like Future. I'd say he would be around the mark, but I didn't necessarily think he would make it.
Yeah. My number 4, and this is it's Eminem.
Yeah.
He's never not been my number 1.
Oh.
So this is the first year he hasn't been number 1, and he's dropped to 4.
You know what happens?
But he has not dropped an album for like 3 years. So, and I think he's only had 1 feature in the last 12 months. So, whereas the rest of my top 5 all dropped albums, and a couple of them multiple albums. So. He was always up against Eminem, but he still got in there, top 5. So.
If Eminem's Fortnite concert counted, do you think he would make it to number 1?
Yeah. I'm hoping he does have an album around the corner, because he's doing a lot of things outside of releasing an album. It's a bit annoying, but so he'd come in at 4 for me.
Yeah. So 3, Jesus. My 3 was actually Dave. UK rapper Dave, so that was probably a lot more expected, I would say.
Yeah.
He's someone that's very heavy in my rotation with a fair few songs. So I would say it's probably makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Could have made a case for him being number 2, I would say, but
yeah. My number 3, Travis Scott. Obviously Utopia.
Yeah.
Came out and smashed that when it came out. So he was always probably going to be in there somewhere. A lot of the Utopia songs in my playlist, the 100 song playlist they make for you. So yeah, Travis for 3 for me.
Yeah, sweet. Ooh, number 2.
Number 2.
My number 2. My number 2 is actually Kanye West.
Oh yeah.
I think he's got such timeless music that it's just there's just little bits of it in all my playlists. I don't think I sit there and smash Kanye West music, but I just think that he's so consistent in all my rotations because he has such a wide variety that I just end up listening to him a lot.
Is it a lot of his older music, or
yeah, a lot of his a lot of his older stuff. A couple off his latest album he dropped last year, the year before.
Donda.
Yeah,
it's Donda. Yeah, he hasn't released anything else.
Nah, but yeah, Kanye is someone who's probably always going to be heavy in my rotation. I think he just has a lot of timeless sort of songs that can, for any occasion.
Yeah, my number 2, Larry June.
Unsurprising.
I was hoping you'd get one, but he got the number 2 slot. So yeah, and he probably would have got number 1 if his concert was just a little earlier, because the week or 2 leading up to his concert, I listened to so much of but I feel like it might have just missed the cut.
The cut seems to be a bit weird. That's what.
So, and then now this period of time in the year until I think January, nothing counts towards next year's one. So,
just don't listen to music until January. That's what we're saying.
Feels like a waste of time.
Yeah. We only listen to it to get the stats.
Alright, number 1.
Well, my number 1 was Drake because Drake's been my number 1 for like 3-4 years in a row, but he's just he drops yearly and he drops multiple projects yearly. And he's the same, that he just has a lot of timeless songs for me that can sort of fit in any playlist. But then he just adds more and more onto it almost yearly. There's not many people that are working, I think, as hard as him at the moment for the past, ever since he's come onto the scene. But weird fact, I spent actually over 10,000 minutes listening to Drake. So about a fifth of my listening time all year was dedicated to Drake. If that's not basic.
So yeah, my number 1 was also Drake. Yeah. But mine 3,408 minutes. So what was yours? 10,000.
Just over 10,000. So if that's not the most basic thing you've ever heard, I was in like the top 0.1% of fans or something.
Top 1%. Yeah.
So Drake, if you're listening to this, couple of real ones here.
But yeah, to be fair, he did drop For All the Dogs, which was highly anticipated. And then I don't know if a lot of our listening to the Scary Hours.
I don't even think any of it really counted, to be honest.
The cut, so. But I expect a few of them to possibly be in next year's one, because those 6 songs are really good. I'm still listening to them.
Yeah, same. They're still heavy in my rotation.
But a few still from For All the Dogs. I love Virginia Beach.
Yeah, that
just keeps getting better somehow. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's in my. I'm pretty sure that's the highest in like my top 100 songs that they gave me. Actually, I think Slime You Out was first. But obviously that was dropped before the album dropped, so I had a bit more time to listen to it.
Quickly go through my top. Did you have your top 5 songs?
I'm pretty sure I can think of them off the top of my head. Yeah, I think.
What was 5?
5 was actually, speaking of spilt milk, my number 5 song was Miracle Maker by Don Bella.
Did see your top 5. I'm trying to remember what else was in there. But
I'm trying to think as well, to be honest.
My 5 was Art Talk, Larry June, and Boldy James, The Alchemist. So good song if anyone is interested.
It's just 4 and 3 that I can't remember.
While you're trying to think, I'll go with my 4 and 3. System, JRD. Fantastic song. One of his best songs he's made, I think. So
I remember 4.
If you're wanting to get into JRD,
yes,
that is a song I'd probably chuck right up there as one to listen to. Great storytelling song. So what was your 4?
My number 4 was actually Legends Aren't Made by Dan. Dan's a UK rapper, so not mainstream yet. He's definitely got a lot of potential, so definitely a song to check out, I would say.
3.
You gotta go, I gotta still think of this.
3 was 89 Earthquake, Larry June, again, with The Alchemist. Great song. These Larry June songs that are in my top 5 are off the Great Escape album, so my album of the year, I think, still. So did you remember?
No, I can't remember my 3rd. It's a bit embarrassing.
We'll go to 2. 2 Palisades, CA, Larry June again, but this was with Big Sean as well. great verse by Larry June, but Big Sean, I love Big Sean. I reckon he's one of the most underrated rappers, and his verse was fantastic. And I remember when that album came out earlier in the year, and that song, I was like listening to it a lot. I thought it'd be number one, but got the number two. So
yeah, my number two was actually Desires by Drake. I just what can I say? I reckon it was about...
That's with Future, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think that might have contributed. I don't know if the features contribute.
I don't know, to be honest.
But
they would have to in some way.
Yeah,
surely.
so that I had it, I reckon, like Feb, March. It was just the time where it was just... You know when a song just hits different? When you just get back into a song and... Because the more I listen to Dark Lane demo tapes, the more songs I mess with, to be honest.
Number one for me, Reunited, Wu-Tang Clan. So I seen them earlier in the year, but just the months leading up to seeing them live, I watched the Wu-Tang show on Stan, fantastic show, and a great show if you do want to get into the Wu-Tang, kind of see a bit of the story of them coming up. But yeah, then Reunited is off their Wu-Tang Forever album, and that song is probably my favourite Wu-Tang song. It just hits, and I was obsessed with it for a good couple months. So that I knew that'd be around the mark as well, so that was my number one.
My number one was actually Language by Brent Faiyaz. Can't say I expected it to be my number one, but a really good song, really chill, good vocals, nice beat, nothing. Just, I think, I just had it heavy in my rotation for a while. I only discovered it this year. I actually don't even know when it was dropped. But really good. And yes, I would say a surprising number one, but not a bad number one.
It's good when you like discover songs, and it's obviously you miss out on what has come out, but then discovering older songs that like hit, and it shows how music can be really timeless. Like Reunited, like 25 years old, and it's my number one song for this year. Which is funny, but yeah.
Because that's because I think it's like Paperboy Febe or Fave. I don't know how to say it, to be honest. But like, and then Brent Faiyaz does the vocals, so it's not a Brent sort of drop. Yeah. So I think that's where we go with it. So
very good.
That's a Spotify Wrapped, and I think that calls a wrap on the DL for this week.
Yeah. Do you remember do you remember where your music listening location was?
It was Tempe, USA? Tempe?
San Luis Obispo, USA. Yes. People there are far more likely to be fans of Larry June, The Alchemist, and Westside Gun. What else did they tell me? Number one podcast, Pies Nation.
Yeah. Get Around the Pies Nation podcast, sponsors of this episode.
And I couldn't get enough of Flights Booked by Drake.
Yeah.
So that was my number 7 song. So I don't know how they put that into the you couldn't get enough of, even though it was 7. But
depends. Maybe
I don't know how they choose what you couldn't get enough.
Maybe you played that song the most amount of times, but then like the listening minutes didn't.
It's a very good song.
Yeah.
That one. So honestly, never mind. I didn't really like that album when it came out. I was just expecting something else, I think, and then it's kind of grown on me.
There's what song was it? I reckon like the main, because obviously there's Jimmy Cooks, which everyone was a bit more.
Yeah, that was what I was expecting. From the album kind of thing.
But then there was, I can't even think of what it's called.
Texco Green is really good. Flights Booked, Massive.
Oh, Massive
was probably the one that really
went
blew up a bit, but Texco Green, Flights Booked, they're like kind of underrated or hidden gems. There's another one I'm thinking of. Tie That Binds is but the whole there's a certain mood for that album. It just hits really, really good sometimes. So yeah.
Alright, perfect. Let's wrap it up for today then.
That's a wrap on Spotify Wrapped.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, night, evening, whenever you're watching this, and we'll see you on the next episode.